Hey YouTube, in this video I'll be going over the print function. So what a print function is a bunch of code that's been put together in Python, and it allows you to print or write something out on the screen. So to call or write or use the print function, you have to first type in print, and when writing a statement in your parameters you have to put quotations and write anything really, so hello world. You can also use double quotations. And the difference between these is pretty much allows you to distinguish between the two when writing. So, say I'm writing something and it's like inside there I want to put a quote. So like my favorite quote is anything. So as you see here, it looks for the just like in any print statement, it would look for the first quotation, which is a single one, and scan the entire text and look for the second quotation, and everything in between there it would print. It disregards these as just regular text, and that's what allows you to use these inside normal inside an actual text. If I was to okay goodbye now, I just want to show you that if you were to start and end with double quotations, as you see here, it would look for the first one, and then it would find the second quotation mark and print this. Then it would keep searching, it would disregard this, it would not see this, and it will look for the second quotation mark, another first quotation mark, and print out everything in between there. And this is improper syntax, and as you see you'll get an error, because this it takes now as a variable. So yes, you can print out variables too. So the way to do that is first you have to assign a variable. There we go. Now there's three types of variables. There's an integer, which is just a regular number, or it could be also a negative number, so let's make that -3. There is a float, which is any number with a decimal, so like 3.6. And there is a string variable, which you assign by putting quotations around, either single or double quotations. And this is pretty much, this will have no mathematical value. It'll just be a bunch of words or letters that will just be that, words or letters. And this can also be numbers, but they wouldn't have any mathematical significance. So I'll just say this is cat, for example. And to print out a variable, just write the print statement, and in parameters just put the variable, just like that. Okay, and by now you might be wondering why I'm using the print function instead of, for example, just calling the variables like this. And that's because I'm working in the Python shell right now, which is just a place where you can test out individual lines of code. The Python shell isn't used for making software. You actually need to open up a new module for that. And as I said, this is just for testing testing code. And for example, calling these variables will only work in the Python shell, and this will never work when writing an actual application. To print out or to call back or to write with the value of that, you would actually need to use the print function. And as you see here, I got a syntax error. I just want to go back to that, and that's because I tried to print out a variable in between here. So let's make a variable called anything, and let's set that equal to cat. Now the reason that happened was because I tried to print a variable in between two statements with improper syntax. So to print variables in between or after or before a statement, you need to separate it by commas. So say I want to write I need to write a statement. So my favorite animal is a, and then to write Okay, there we go. To write a variable, you need to separate it with a comma after the statement, and then write the variable. So now, sure I spelled that correctly. So what this does is it prints out this statement, and notice that I didn't put a space after A because the comma acts one as a separator between the statement and the variable to make sure that you didn't actually mean to print that out like you did here, and it won't return a syntax error for you. It will actually print out the variable. And the comma also acts like a space between the last letter here, or the last character here, and the variable. So if I print this out, my favorite animal is a cat is returned. And you could do the same thing with the variable before or in between two statements, as long as you have a comma either after or on both sides of the variable, depending on how you're printing it out. So for example, my favorite animal is a, and then for example anything, that will be my variable, and then I could finish off here with okay, goodbye now. And when you're printing out this, there you go, my favorite animal is a cat, okay, goodbye now. And this also puts a a space after the variable as well if you put it there. So let me just copy this. Okay. And I would do the print function here. I'm so lazy, but oh well. And as you see here, I'll just put the comma afterwards to separate it from the statement that will come after it. And cat, okay, goodbye now. So that's pretty much all you need to know right now for the print function. If you don't understand, if there's anything you don't understand, I'll be going over it more in future tutorials. So just stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe and visit our website.